Lamp unto my feet.
When we hear the gospel today, one might wonder as to why the people of Gadarenes requested Jesus. Not just requested, they begged and said, Jesus, please leave our territory and leave us at peace. Why do you think they wanted Jesus to leave? Because Jesus, upon healing two demon-possessed people, commanded that those spirits, the evil spirits, should go and enter into a herd of pigs. Now, people were more worried about pigs than the spiritual well-being of two people who were healed of their possessions. And this can very well happen to us. We are more worried about what happens outside than what's happening inside. And that's why Jesus very clearly have told us that as we clean the outer, the sides of pots and pans, we also have to be mindful of our interior disposition in life. And very often when things go wrong outwardly, we are more worried about, what other people think, what would, other people would say about if I do this. But very often we forget to be worried about what the Lord will think about my spiritual well-being. And sometimes we take others' spiritual well-being for granted as well. And very often we do things to please others. We do things to please ourselves rather than pleasing the Lord. And this is a good example for that. The Lord had to leave that territory because they were more worried about their pigs than the well-being of those two people who have been possessed for a very long time but are healed and well now. Let us ask ourselves today as we reflect on this gospel, how worried am I about my inner disposition? How worried am I about my inner purity and the purity of other people? Have I also focused too much on worldly things and pleasing others, pleasing myself, and doing everything perfectly on a worldly point of view? And through that process, have I also begged Jesus to leave our territory, to leave our families, to leave our neighborhoods? Let us reflect and ask the Lord to stay with us. Amen.